just wanted to give you an update. It's been a couple days since I've run through these risk scores. I just want to give you an update and show you what I'm thinking on all of these. If you don't agree with one or you think one of them's off or something, go ahead and feel free to comment. I'm open to hear everybody's perspective on these. Let's start with Stable 1 V2. I put it at 8 because of what happened with V1. I think it was yesterday, the balance went down to 0 and a lot of people were not able to recover their funds. If you look at that, the original balance over there I think was just over 2 million, and what got moved over to V2 I think is just over 800,000, so less than half moved over, so that's not good. So I think the risk is still high there. I've seen other people talk about how they're having issues over on V2, so that's just something to think about. Profits is kind of right in the middle. They're doing ROI of 7%. So with all of these, it's kind of right in the middle. Sustainability, because that balance didn't really move over very well, I'm going to move that down slightly. So we can see that score is at a 10. It's not very good. Matic Staker. Matic Staker, I've done some warning videos on this, and I'm going to continue to warn you. These percentages, the ROI percentages, are just not sustainable long term. The one thing that I see concerning right now is that total staked amount. Everybody's talking about how it's wonderful that they've gone up like 2 million in a few days. That's good, but if you look at the contract balance, it hasn't really gone up in comparison. It's kind of been flat the last day or two, while the total staked amount has gone up 1 million or 2. That's not good. That means that there needs to be a lot of investment to keep that balance where it is. So if as we move and those rates go higher as the people unlock, it's going to take at least the current investment to stay level for now, but then that's not going to be enough in the future. So as those earnings go up, just remember that balance is probably going to start dipping, and just not quite sure if it's going to make it to that airdrop deadline of April 5th. So I'm going to keep that as a 9 because I think you can still, like I've said before, that savings account, that first one, you could still get your return on investment within, I think it's about 5.5 days now. So I think it'll last that long. And then if you can get some profit out of that after, but those you can withdraw daily. So I think you could recover at least that profit. Those rates are just still, they're just insanely high, and they will be until this thing's over. Sustainability, just this one I'm kind of thought about moving it down to 1, but I don't think I will because that savings is still there. I think it might be sustainable for another week or two, and I think we're going to start seeing that balance really drop. Phantom 1, I just did a video on this. The risk is still, I might even move the risk down a little bit because that balance is staying where it is and people are withdrawing. So it's going well. The profit's decent, and the sustainability is going well. And because it's being sustained, I'm going to move that up a little bit as well. So that puts it up there, and that's why I did that video earlier about how I feel it's kind of an overlooked platform. Maybe just because it's on the Phantom network and not as many people are familiar with it, but that's one that you could look at, and I've got some videos on that. Matic Heaven, the balance has been dropping. I just don't think that thing got as much traction as it should have, but because that balance is dropping, I'm going to move the risk up a little bit. The profit obviously has stayed the same. Sustainability, unless they get an influx of more investors. I mean, it's a decent platform. It works pretty well. I just don't know why they didn't get the traction they needed there. Matic FOMO, I did a video on this day or two ago comparing it with Multimatic. It's still just a solid platform. Risk is, slightly below average. The balance is going well. The profits, a little bit higher. Sustainability, I'll probably leave that where it is. I mean, I think these numbers are probably where it should be now. That balance is just going well, and things are paying out. But I think these numbers might change in the coming weeks. We'll see when things unlock. BNB Race, I'm going to move that risk up. Actually, quite a couple numbers there. It has a lot staked. I think it's almost up to 600 BNB. But when you look at the balance, it's getting pretty low. But I know that they're doing a push. They're giving away these things called race tokens. They're doing airdrops of race tokens if you do certain things. And once they get up to, I think 1,000 BNB staked, they're going to be putting the race tokens on PancakeSwap, and they'll start having some value. So there's some airdrop opportunities there. Profit, it's just it's slightly above in the middle there. Sustainability, because that dropped, I'm going to move that sustainability down a bit. Multimatic, when we talked about FOMO the other day, we compared it. I think the risk is still low. I might actually move it down right now, even a little lower, because of it's new, and it's also the balance is going up pretty well. I think it's actually on pace to beat Matic Staker's first week, so it's going well. Profit's really good, especially the 28 week. I think it's like 900%. Sustainability, I think as long as they can keep that moving, I mean, the sustainability would be like Matic Staker at its current clip that it's going at, if it didn't keep increasing those ROIs. So as long as that balance keeps going up and people keep jumping on board, I think this thing is sustainable long term. Levenu had a rough week. Their balance was getting very low. They stopped doing withdrawals, and but I know that they're building a new platform over this. I think they're going to move more towards like a drip system, where you deposit and you get out 1% a day, 2% a day, and they're looking to do like a long-term plan. I think Levenu, as we know it, might be gone, but I'm not sure what's going to happen with the platform. So I'm actually just going to move the risk all the way to 10, because you don't want to put anything in there right now at all. So the profit was always kind of in the middle of the line. Sustainability, so that's one we should watch out for. I mean, I'm not going to say I'd never put anything into it, but I'm waiting to see what they're going to come up with. Daily Matic, this is a clone of Stable One. I put the risk higher, even though it just launched, and they're actually bringing in Matic into their balance, because it is a clone of Stable One. I reached out to the owner. I tried to verify that they do not have ties to Stable One, because it's almost exactly the same. They said they did not. I also looked at the domains, the registry, and they use different caching and different DNS servers and things like that. So I'm guessing that they're not the same, but you never know. But because everything going on with Stable One and everything, that all the people that didn't get their investments back on that, I'm kind of leery to say jump over there. It's a little higher than Stable One's. Theirs was 7, this one's 8%, so I moved that up a little bit. Sustainability, I put it a little bit lower. It's just kind of wait and see what happens. Matic X, I understand people really like the idea of this because you can deposit, and as soon as you deposit, you can get all of your interest back right away. The problem with that is, I think I looked last and they had, I think, 550,000 staked, but their balance was only like 150,000. So there's a wide gap between staked and balance, and that means that if something happened, people started pulling stuff out of there, it would go pretty quick because there's really not much of a balance there left because it's already withdrawn. So that backup reserve of a healthy balance is hard to do when people are pulling out 50% of what they put in right away. So I put the risk up there because that balance is going to have a tough time staying up there. The profits are decent, and sustainability, because that balance is kind of low. So that's kind of the rundown of where things are at right now. Kind of an update on all of these projects. I just want to get one out there today, just so everybody knew where these things were at. Again, if you have any comments on this, or if you have any other opinions on these, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And remember, this is not financial advice. This is just information. You need to do your own research, make your own investment decisions. And anyway, we will catch you on the next one.